Many people today are afraid of high blood pressure, also called hypertension. But the funny thing is, the foods that helped control it were already in our villages. Yes, those foods your grandmother forced you to eat. Today we answer the big question. Is Sukuma wiki better, or traditional vegetables like Managu and Terere are? And we will also talk about cassava, millet, sweet potatoes, yams, cashew nuts, and groundnuts. Foods that look simple but behave like natural medicine. And remember this line, traditional is good even if it doesn't look civilized. But who says it's not civilized? And let me warn you early. Some people trust imported food more than vegetables growing behind their kitchen. That's like ignoring your grandmother's cooking and trusting stranger on the internet who cooks with sunglasses on. Let's go. My first competitor, Sukuma wiki, let me talk about it. In English, it's basically collard greens. Why is it good for blood pressure? Because it contains a number of things that help in the controlling of blood pressure. It contains potassium, it contains magnesium, it contains fiber. Potassium, number one, helps the body remove excess salt. That is science. If explanations are given well in a science forum, you will understand. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels. Fiber reduces cholesterol. Meaning, Sukuma wiki helps the blood flow like smooth highway instead of Nairobi traffic at 5 p.m. But wait, enter the traditional champions, Managu and Terere. Managu has an English name, they have labeled it African nightshade. Terere is amaranth leaves. These vegetables are nutritional powerhouses. They contain more iron, high calcium, plenty of antioxidants. Antioxidants protect blood vessels from damage. So when it comes to hypertension management, all the three are excellent. But many nutritionists believe traditional vegetables may actually be richer in micronutrients. That's a fact, which brings us back to our wisdom. Traditional is good even if it doesn't look civilized. But who says it's not civilized? Move away from that kind of a belief. Your grandmother knew something. And remember, if vegetables could talk, Sukuma wiki, Managu and Terere would be saying, we tried to warn you before you started eating burgers every day. Yes? Now let's talk about something very, very important. Organic foods and blood pressure. Organic foods, meaning of organic foods, foods grown without artificial fertilizers and pesticides. They are just foods grown using natural products. The soil and the manure. Why does this matter? Because chemicals in some pesticides may contribute to, number one, inflammation. Number two, hormone disruption. Number three, metabolic problems. All these things can worsen hypertension. When food grows naturally in the soil, it tends to have, number one, higher antioxidants. Number two, better mineral balance. Number three, fewer toxic residues. That's why many rural communities eating organic traditional foods often have lower blood pressure compared to modern city diets. Let me say something controversial. Sometimes the supermarket tomato has traveled more countries than you have, but still has less nutrients than the one growing in your backyard. If you are enjoying this, subscribe and hit the bell. And again, most of you, my friends, you are watching quietly like exam invigilators, but not subscribing. I have seen the statistics. Now let's continue. Because some of the foods we are about to discuss look humble, but behave like big bodyguards of your heart. Traditional African foods that help control blood pressure. On the list, number 1 is cassava. Cassava is often underestimated. People think it is just village survival food, but cassava provides, number 1, complex carbohydrates. Number 2, energy without excessive fat. Number 3, potassium. Potassium helps balance sodium levels in the body, and I've even alluded to that in the first section. Meaning cassava can support healthy blood pressure control when eaten in moderation. But remember, cassava boiling is medicine. Cassava swimming in oil is a crime scene. Number 2 food is millet. Millet is one of the oldest grains in Africa, and it is extremely beneficial for hypertension because it contains, number 1, magnesium. Number 2, fiber. Number 3, plant protein. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels, which lowers blood pressure. So question is, who was really advanced? The people eating millet, or the people eating cereal that needs a chemistry degree to understand the ingredients? Number 3, sweet potato. Sweet potatoes are powerful for cardiovascular health. They contain what you've mentioned even in the foods that I've started in this section. They contain potassium, they contain fiber, meaning they help control blood pressure and prevent overeating. Sweet potatoes may not look glamorous on Instagram, but inside your body, they behave like a cardiologist. Number 4 on the list is yam. Yams support stable blood sugar levels because, remember, diabetes and hypertension move together like 2 gossiping neighbors who never separate. Number 5 is cashew nut. Rich in magnesium as well and healthy fats, but avoid too much salt. That's where we go wrong. You get that we have cashew nuts on the shelves everywhere. I've talked about supermarket, but when you taste, it's not natural because salted nuts can turn a healthy snack into a blood pressure emergency meeting. Okay, I'll give you another one, which is groundnut. Healthy, powerful, but if your groundnuts are shining like car tires, something suspicious has happened in that frying pan. Why traditional diets protect the heart is because traditional diets have more vegetables and less chemicals. Because when you look at modern diets, more processing, more salt, more problems. Then we wonder why hypertension is increasing. Let me say it again. Traditional is good even if it doesn't look civilized. But who says it's not civilized? And honestly, your grandmother was doing preventive medicine without a degree, without a lab coat, and without charging consultation fees. So today, we've learned Sukuma wiki, we've learned Managu, we've learned Terere. Plus, we've also learned Cassava, we have learned millet, we have learned sweet potato, we have learned yam, we have learned cashew nut, we've learned groundnut. So, eat them organic when possible. If possible, grow them yourself. Because people just label anything here and there organic, but it's not. Anything and everything is labeled organic, but it's not. And remember, traditional is good if it doesn't look civilized. Okay? Traditional is good even if it doesn't look civilized. But who says it's not civilized? Before you go, subscribe and hit the bell